Looking for a movie for your next Netflix party session this weekend? Let's check out what the drama section has in store for you. Taking a quick look at the catalog, you can see that the genre encompasses a wide range of movies, from comedic dramas to romantic dramas, and even thrillers. But what exactly makes a movie a drama? By definition, movies in the genre focus on common occurrences, relying heavily on the emotional and relational arc of everyday people. In contrast to other genres like horror, action, or sci-fi, drama often looks to reality rather than sensationalism. Emotions and intense situations are the highlight, where other genres might use flashy gimmicks to incite a reaction. With such a broad description of drama movies, we narrowed it down to one subgenre that we could all relate to: the family drama. Life at home can be quite complicated, and family drama movies revolve around just that. The family drama centers on struggles or issues between family members. A common theme in this genre would be the conflict of duties to family versus individual desires. Now let's take a look at some of these movies under the subgenre and their unique approach in tackling these stories.
Color is an essential component in storytelling, and it seems that there are new ways to colorize films every day. Specifically in family drama, there are commonly used colors that dominate the film. These are mostly earth-toned colors such as white, brown, and blue. According to John Fusco, the color white means love, family, peace, and marriage. The color brown signifies home, reliability, comfort, and stability. The color blue means faith, contentment, calm, unity, and trust. These colors help us feel at ease and connect with the flow of the narrative. In the film The Farewell by director Lulu Wang, it talks about Billy and her family going back to China when they found out about her grandmother's illness. The dominant colors in The Farewell are blue, white, and brown. Blue is used to symbolize and highlight the inner struggle to find peace for Billy and her family as they need to lie about her grandmother's illness. It sort of felt like it was used to juxtapose the meaning of the color, which symbolized peace, trust, and truth. It also added to the coldness and tension to intimate scenes which are dominated by white and brown. This shows that despite the situation, they still handled the matter as a family, and the best way to represent it is through family dinners and discussions.
Farewell is actually director Lulu Wang's real-life story about her grandma who's also suffering from cancer, and the grandma didn't even know that the movie was about her till recently, considering she's been to the set and the film has been recognized in a lot of movie festivals and award shows.
In the film Kramer vs. Kramer by director Robert Benton, it started when Joanna Kramer suddenly left Ted Kramer hanging and went on to find herself in California, and leaving their child in Ted's care in New York City. White and brown mostly are the dominating colors of the film. The color white is highlighted to show emptiness and emphasize the space and distance between the characters. Kramer's apartment is mostly white and spacious, while the room that has color is Billy's room, wherein it is filled with the color blue and white clouds to show his innocence in the situation. Joanna Kramer's outfits are also white to show emptiness and lack of identity, which is the main factor why she wanted to have a divorce, while Ted's outfits are dominated by brown colors to show that his stability and how he tries to fill Joanna's absence for his son Billy to still feel at ease and at home.
Kramer vs. Kramer has a lot of spontaneous scenes that pushed Meryl Streep's acting further. During this confrontation scene, Dustin Hoffman slaps the glass, so here we see Meryl Streep's genuine reaction and surprise.
Little Miss Sunshine is a comedy drama about a dysfunctional family bonding on a road trip. The color yellow was predominant in the film. Yellow is a primary color often associated with happiness, optimism, and sunny dispositions. A bright yellow may uplift spirits, but a muted or dull yellow has an opposite effect. Their home in Albuquerque has a yellow-beige monotone palette that gives a sense of uniformity. The grading leans more towards white in more vulnerable moments, like when Grandpa Edwin dies and during a conversation between Frank and Dwayne. Colors were used to define the characters as well. Throughout the film, Olive's clothing was vibrant red, a color that encourages action, passion, and confidence. Then, her parents were wearing shades of blue, and the other three members of the family were wearing neutral colors such as black or white or gray. Their clothing is not as attention-grabbing as Olive's.
Little Miss Sunshine took half a decade to finish. From failed pitches and conflict in shooting locations, producer Mark Turtletub funded the movie and it was ready for screening by 2006.
Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story is a heartfelt drama about an ending marriage. The colors in the film serve as a way to understand the characters' individuality and how they interact with their environment. The earth tones, colors that refer to any warm color containing some brown pigment, are used in this film. They tend to be muted and flat and are often used in interior design, for they provide an inviting mood. The family lives in New York, and the production designer, Jade Healy, mentioned that they had brown, gray, muted red, and muted green. This gives a sense of coziness. But when the story moves to Los Angeles, the palette switches to a paler green, yellow, and pink because Nicole's things are more feminine. This environment allows her to have her own space and be more like herself.
The Marriage Story was edited by Jennifer Lame, who also edited Baumbach's previous works as well as Hereditary and Manchester by the Sea. They also filmed this both in New York and Los Angeles, both different cities supposedly giving off a different look or vibe, but Baumbach decided to have the same color palette for the two.
A film that does not follow the typical color treatment of the family dramas is Wes Anderson's The Royal Tenenbaums. Throughout his body of work, the director often uses vibrant and saturated colors to give a more nostalgic feel. Ironically, the subject matter of his films are not as bright and cheerful as their visuals may seem. The Royal Tenenbaums in particular touches on topics such as death, failure, childhood trauma, and suicide. The film follows the titular Tenenbaums, and the narrative is driven by the divorce of parents Royal and Etheline, and how this went on to affect their three prodigious children, Chaz, Margot, and Richie. Like the previously mentioned films, the Royal Tenenbaums still has a mostly analogous warm palette, but what sets it apart is the warmth is more unsettling and overwhelming because of its saturation. And it can even be a bit aggressive, especially with the emphasis on red. The color is most seen in highlighting a tense and hostile environment, especially in the walls of the Tenenbaum residence. Besides this, Chaz is seen in a red tracksuit representing his constant sense of urgency, as well as his antagonism and resent towards his father. In contrast to this, there are scenes where the film trades its red tones for blue to show sadness and despair. It is most prominent in the moment Richie attempts to take his own life. The whole sequence has a pale blue palette, which helps emphasize the redness of the blood in the scene. On the whole, the color treatment of this family drama differs from the others because it is able to use warm tones to overwhelm instead of to comfort. And it also features a highly saturated color palette not only in grading but also in costume and production design. With all that said, family dramas often have a complementary color scheme with their use of different shades of yellow, blue, and white. The contrast of these colors reflect and emphasize the conflict in the story. Even though the color treatments may be similar, each story is unique in its own way, like every family.